If you're a Cardano bull like me, this ADA zoomed out weekly chart is probably a chart that you look at a lot. And right now it's becoming very exciting, not just because the Bitcoin halving just happened and we're entering potentially another altcoin season similar to last, but right now on this chart, we have some dates. The Chang Hard Fork right there in July, mid-July, and then we have Chang 2 towards the end of summer. And I want to discuss why this upgrade, this update for Cardano is so massive and important. I want to talk about and explain what it means for Cardano. And I definitely want to talk about how it relates to ADA price. That is something I've done over the years. That is to talk about these hard fork events that have happened with ADA. Now, the timing of the Chang Hard Fork, pretty incredible, I would say, in relation to this current bull cycle that we're in. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into the video. Before we even talk about the ADA charts, the Chang Hard Fork, I just want to really quickly go over just a few kind of headline topics just to set the tone for where Cardano is right now. This was yesterday. We're delighted to announce a new partnership in Argentina. This is Cardano Foundation. Here's another one. If you remember, U.S. states, several U.S. states contacted Cardano Foundation asking for help to build a transparent and secure voting system. And these things I'm going over, they're important, and it relates to what we're going to discuss in today's video. Here's another one. Dubai police joined forces with Cardano to revolutionize information sharing in investigations. I don't know if you remember, this was not long ago. I believe March, Cardano was awarded the best layer 1 solution in Dubai. That was April, and that was not that long ago. And here's a nice post that sums it up a little bit lucid. Everyone likes Cardano. Argentina likes Cardano. Dubai likes Cardano. Switzerland likes Cardano. Japan likes Cardano. Do you see a theme with this blockchain? And this is, I'm telling you, I realize that as far as price goes right now, this is right now. When you zoom out, this looks completely normal to me. On the shorter term, people would like ADA price to do some different things, but do you realize from a fundamental perspective how bullish of a blockchain Cardano is? As a top blockchain, a top 10 blockchain right now, Cardano's entering this new era, which is going to separate it from pretty much the rest of crypto, everybody. And what's really cool is you and I actually have an opportunity, and anybody in the crypto community has an opportunity to be a part of that milestone. So let's kind of discuss everything and what's going on here. And let's talk about the charts too and how it relates to price, especially as we approach kind of this altcoin season that we've been discussing towards the end of summer maybe happening. So this is Chris over on X. Cardano fam, looks like we have a tentative date for the Chang Hard Fork event number 1. The hard fork, and I'm going to explain these things. The hard fork event is initiated with node 9 being implemented. This date is set tentatively to be July 17th. Voltaire is right around the corner. And there's the chart. And he continued, Chang Hard Fork event number 2, based on current velocity of development, looks to be set at the end of August. I'm telling you, the timing of these two things, like this range right here, particularly because I don't know if you've seen my videos recently, I've done a lot of talking, especially recently, about altcoin season and kind of just altcoin season maybe kicking off, but sometime between now and like right here, and this is the end of summer, maybe early fall. So the timing of this for Cardano is playing very nicely. Here's Bitcoin dominance rising. I don't know if it'll keep going. It potentially will, potentially falling in altcoin season. The timing of this Chang Hard Fork is really good. Let's just put it that way. And before we look at the price and the charts and dissect some data in relation to previous hard fork events, I do want to kind of explain what's going on here. So, and I'll do it as simply as possible. The thing I want to point out real quick on this chart, there's a lot going on, but really is this window. You can see Chang Hard Fork window, and then Chang Hard Fork plus 1 window, and you just see number 1, and that is the mid-July, and then number 2. So let's talk about those two things, the upgrades, basically, number 1 and number 2. And I'm going to do it on the chart so we can kind of look at the chart while we're doing this. But the July hard fork right here, number 1, Chang number 1, I made some notes so I can explain this. This is going to be the deployment of governance features and technical bootstrapping. This is like a very critical step in this process towards true decentralization. So what's happening here is this is the governance features that are described in CIP 1694 being deployed to Cardano. That's what's going on. It's important because this is an improved governance model for Cardano, obviously. Now, technical bootstrapping is involving preparing and stabilizing the new governance features to ensure, and let me actually zoom in a little bit so you can kind of read what I'm reading, to ensure they function correctly. So, because this needs to work, right? So that's what's going to be happening in the Chang number 1, just bootstrapping from a technical perspective and securely. So make sure they're working correctly and securely on the main network, critical step before these features can be fully utilized. And then when all is said and done, going into number 2, this unlocks final on-chain governance features. This is what everybody's been waiting for. What is happening here? CIP 1694 moves out of technical bootstrapping. Final governance features are unlocked, including delegated representative, draft participation, and treasury withdrawals. And it's important. This allows for a more distributed and democratic process where delegated representatives can participate in governance decisions, enhancing decentralization of network. We're talking about Cardano in this two-step system, two-step process is moving towards a community governance system. It is moving towards a decentralized and self-sustaining system. Treasury withdrawals. Unlocking treasury withdrawals means that funds within the Cardano treasury can be utilized more efficiently for development projects, community initiatives, and other purposes voted on by the network participants. The community. We're talking about, do you know how much is in the treasury? 1.5 billion ADA. And ADA right now is like around 50 cents, right? So we're looking at like $750 million being run by the community. And that's what we're moving to right now. This is huge. Now, if ADA price goes to $1, that's $1.5 billion in this decentralized governance system. So we have a treasury paired with a voting and proposal type of mechanism within Cardano. A treasury of 1.5 billion ADA paired with that entire mechanism. This is huge in the crypto space, this event and what is taking place here. So I don't know if the headlines will be there. I think they will be because it really is, it's a big event. And at the end of the day, when you zoom out on a Cardano chart, this has been the process, right? It's been, and I have a bunch going on here, but it's been the Chang Hard Fork. You know, this is all the way back here in 2020. I can't believe it's already like 4 years now, but 2020, Chang Hard Fork staking mechanism comes online. The multi-asset ledger over here in 2021 with the Mary Hard Fork, Alonzo smart contracts. It feels like all that just happened, but this was setting the tone. And now, what's happening now with all of these things in play, right? Scalability, Basel, and now moving to this community governance system, this is going to lead to a lot of economic opportunities within Cardano and really for the broader crypto ecosystem. So that's what's happening. And this is a big deal because this isn't like a, top 800 crypto that's doing this. This is a top 10 crypto with 1.5 billion ADA, almost $1 billion in the treasury. That's what's happening. So now when we talk about price and ADA charts, for just a moment, let's put aside everything that we just went over, right? Let's put aside the notes and just talk about the charts. And then we're going to bring into play the Chang Hard Fork events. So the charts, just to give like a reminder, and I know I've been talking about it a lot, in terms of where Cardano is, just exiting the bear market, in post-Bitcoin halving, consolidating, it's in such a similar area as back here, right? So even the consolidation, below the 20, above the 50, we're below the 20, we're above the 50, and all that consolidation is actually happening a little bit closer to Bitcoin halving than last time. Last time Bitcoin halving was here, Cardano was consolidating months later in this area. Now, this is where things get just interesting, right? And it really can make you nervous a little bit if you're not prepared for both scenarios. Because if you just look at the chart, it really does look like, especially with the timing of altcoin season, potentially end of summer, it looks like ADA is ready to go. It just does. It looks like ADA is ready to do a repeat of last cycle. That can be a little bit concerning to say, because oftentimes when you expect something, and this is just something I've learned, when you expect something, it just doesn't happen. But I will say this. I've been doing these videos for over 6 years on YouTube, covering Bitcoin, altcoins, Cardano, a lot of Cardano. And even when we think about Bitcoin halvings and Bitcoin breaking the bull market doors, this is something that has just been so kind of set up on the Bitcoin charts, and it's happened. So there is such a strong case that crypto enters altcoin season and Cardano exits consolidation that it's in right now, this range, and starts taking off. There really is. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to look at ADA price in relation to time frame from the hard fork. So here's where things are a little different though. I want to go back to the Shelly hard fork, because I remember one thing I was tracking last cycle was kind of like this window of time before these hard forks, we would see Cardano just really making a move, right? A really nice move. And if we go back to the Shelly hard fork right here back in 2020, summer 2020, you can just see like a few months before the hard fork, ADA was just making a really nice move. And crypto in general was probably making a move. I think that's important to note that. But Cardano just absolutely exploding into the Shelly hard fork and then consolidation. And then into the Mary hard fork, similar thing. Around, a few months prior to the Mary hard fork, Cardano making moves to the upside. Alonzo, this was the top of the bull market for ADA. I mean, it went from around $1 to above $3 in that short span right there, going into Alonzo hard fork. A couple of months, basically, almost a couple of months. And now here we are. This is where things are a little bit interesting. We don't have a very big window of time before Chang Hard Fork number 1. We extend this out towards the end of August or mid-August to end of August. Now we're going on like a few months, almost a few months. So I would say this is a really interesting area for me to watch. Let's just call it 90 days to the first Chang Hard Fork in mid-July is around 40, just over a month. So 30 to 90 days. That's the window that I'm very much curious to see what ADA does, right? So, and if we just take a nice little rectangle, we just mark this kind of area right here towards the end of August. I'll put that, and we can move this over a little bit. That's the range right there. What is ADA doing in that range and leading into that range is also a really important thing to note, because this is around 40 days away to up to around 90 days away. So what is going on from right now to the end of August, early September for Cardano? That is what I would be keeping my eyes on. What's crazy is, and I have to mention this, I have to mention it, there's always, as bullish as all of this sounds and the setup is there's no guarantee it's going to happen. I just want to say that. So we can watch for it to happen. We can watch for an exit of consolidation. Maybe ADA just falls right into it, right? And then it moves up. I don't know. I'm going to be tracking it. But what I do know is this. The Basel hard fork was the only hard fork event really where we saw Cardano fall into it. But this was in the middle of the bear market, in the middle of just all of these crypto companies collapsing, FTX going bankrupt just shortly after the Basel hard fork, just a mess of a bear market. And so it wasn't that big of a surprise that ADA wasn't pumping into the Basel hard fork. So now we're in new territory though. We are more in a territory of post last Bitcoin halving with the Shelly hard fork, the Mary hard fork, and Alonzo hard fork. So that's intriguing to me. And I'm very curious to see what ADA does going into this hard fork. I'm telling you, this is so clickbaity. It sounds hypey, but the boosters can turn on out of nowhere, I think, in this time period. Cardano could explode out of nowhere in this time period. And I'm just saying that because not only I've seen Cardano do that over the years, we've seen that, but just in crypto in general, this is something that oftentimes happens. And so that's from a technical analysis perspective. I will be tracking what ADA price is currently doing, everything from on the weekly, the 50-week moving average, and we go to the daily chart, what's occurring on the daily. I'll be tracking those things. But I really wanted this video to be about the Chang Hard Fork, really talk about what it is, what it means for Cardano, because I'm telling you, this is a new era. This is the Voltaire era for Cardano. community governance is here. It's in play, and it's out of all of crypto. I think it is one of the most interesting things that's happening right now. And I realize that it's not getting all the headlines, but I want to do a video about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. Please hit that subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.